Financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Franti.
Well, again, you've joined the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now we're going close to 5 years now, sharing with what you need to know, want to know, should know about real estate and finance to help guide you to personal and financial wellness. And we have a wealth of information. You can find out more by going to donandgino.com. And what's really fun is click on the YouTube channel. How many videos are on there now?
Last time I checked was 732. We maybe uploaded a few more, so close to 800. Creeping up on 800 videos.
So then every show for 4.5 years we had what was called the Word on Wealth. So we've now realized that once a week is not enough to keep you updated on what's really happening in real estate and finance today, because it happens every single day that something's going on, if not in the U.S., globally, because now we're a global economy. So now we have the National Real Estate Cafe.
That's right. In fact, Don, you were stealing some of my thunder because you know that's my favorite thing. I'm super passionate about that right now. National Real Estate Cafe is a great way that we get to share somewhere between a 2-minute clip and a 4-minute clip every day. And we try to keep them as short as possible. We try to keep them down to 2 minutes, but sometimes the information is just too much information to slam into 2 minutes. When the Fed changed rates last week, did not change rates, actually.
And we told you they wouldn't. We're actually been on fire. That's why we carry our little crystal ball around on our table.
That's right. We were spot on that. There just wasn't enough good news to push us over. And, and I had been talking about definitely China was probably the number one factor, and Janet Yellen backed me up on that. So that was kind of cool.
Backed you up a lot. She's like, well, we're a little worried about it. She didn't say exactly China, just abroad.
Well, yeah, just the largest community that's
now India's on the bubble too.
Here's something really interesting. So I met with a couple this weekend, and he works at the ports. So here's the part that we tell you that why we're a little more in tune with the economy than most. And I met with a couple this weekend. He works at the ports, and I said, "So what's going on with your job?" He says, "I'm genuinely concerned." He says, "So I'm probably going to go buy my own truck." He says, "I'm probably going to get laid off from my job, and I'm going to start doing my own side jobs." And I said, "Well, what's going on?" And he says, he goes, "Everybody's selling their trucks." He says that the ports are dead. They're completely dead. There's absolutely no mobility ever since China slowed down. And I was like, wow. Well, that's perspective that I hadn't heard before. There's insider
information, huh?
Yeah. So, we're not there. We're not at the ports. We don't know what's going on. But someone that's there says, I could pick up a truck cheaper than I could pick up a truck 2 years ago for sure. He says it's easy. There's lots of trucks.
Oh, that
People
makes
are
sense.
selling their trucks. He says, I could buy a great truck right now, and I'll probably do better on my own.
Yeah, that's what's nice about being actually in these industries or talking about those. Like, we always know what's going on in the real estate industry, whether it's hot or not, because we can gauge it by the amount of applications, the amount of demand, how motivated people are. That's a big factor, is how motivated they are. And right now, the housing market's hot.
Yeah, the housing market is hot, and the question with the China situation is, and I asked him this, and maybe this was a little beyond him, but I said, did you see that we stopped shipping out, or do you see that we stopped receiving? And he says that the receiving end is what's actually stopped, which is more concerning, actually, than if it was the outbound stuff, because if we're not buying stuff, why is that happening?
We're all, everybody's a little bit more cautious these days. So we're talking about the housing market and things that are affecting the markets. Well, one of the hottest markets around right now, and it kind of ties into what we're going to talk about today, a huge topic with everyone. We hear about it all the time, about solar, how important it is, and whether you should obtain solar or not. So we brought one of our good friends and one of the best experts around. We've had him on our show before, and he really knows his stuff. He's ingrained in it. He's a local business, one of the biggest solar companies in town. And we brought on Mark Figearo with SunPower Green Convergence. Welcome back, buddy.
Thanks. Glad to be here. It's been a while.
Yeah. And what's funny is, it's just so you know, this is going to be a great show because Gino just bought a new house, and I have a energy glutton. So we both have been jumping in and doing a lot of research. Not just jumping in because we know Mark. He knows, poor guy. But because we owe it to you to really understand what we're talking about and what we share with you on our show. In fact, we have some of the best professionals ever that we've interviewed, and now we put together America's Professional Research Group. If you've heard every week we talk about it, you find out more at aprgi.com. And because of this, we've studied different companies, actually interviewed multiple companies. And I know it's kind of offensive to Mark because he's a friend of ours, but we did want to understand the difference between each company. Why is this company marketed all over the place. And what's the difference between their panels and that panel, and cost and product and installation and financing. All this stuff comes, believe me, all of it comes into play. So we brought an expert. So Mark, again, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.
So today we're going to go over the differences in product. There is a huge difference, which we've been finding out. Talk about the product, okay? And I know you're proud about that, because I will be able to back that one up pretty well. And then we'll talk about another factor a lot of you don't think of, and darn it, I wish a lot of you should. I wish my neighbors did. It's called the value of installation, how the quality of installation, warranties, how clean it is, why it's installed the way it is. There's so many factors now that we've been learning about. And then we're going to go into financing options, because it's so easy to get wooed into just, hey, throw it on your roof, you save money. But then, should you be leasing? Should be buying? Can you
take
do
a
tax
power
credit?
pay agreement? That's the most common one right now, the power pay agreement. I mean, we've seen that everywhere, and it's probably the worst of all the opportunities that you can take.
And there's one actually that sounded really good. Sorry, Mark, again, but I've interviewed with quite a few so far just to find out. And one of them, boy, it sounded good. You don't even have to buy, and you don't have to lease. And I'm like, how does that happen? Well, I found out they're just going to rent your roof, basically, and cover your entire roof with every panel that's made known to man. So, Mark, these are, I would imagine, great topics to go into them, all right?
Yes, and I got to say up front, I'm happy you're doing this research.
We
always say our clients are the people that research, the people that somebody knocks on their door and, they get the used car salesman hard pitch and they sign. And I can't tell you how many calls, hey, Mark, I forgot you guys sell solar, or, the guy just pressured me. And, we run a spreadsheet. You guys are numbers guys, so you know how important it is to run numbers.
Yeah,
and
sorry
so
about
many
that, by the way.
but so many people don't. And what looks really good on the surface isn't good at all. And I
can't wait to share with that in this next few segments.
Our clients are the researchers, the clients that know that product matters. What other thing do you buy? You don't go into the car dealership, sit down with the finance manager. He gives you the payment, and then say, this is what you bought, by the way.
Oh, here's the
car
go
over. You don't do that.
Yeah.
You find out what you want, what meets your needs, and then find out what's going to cost. And solar has gotten away, because it's a new industry, people don't know the questions to ask, so they're getting away with not selling a product. If you've talked to a lot of companies, very few companies even talk about the product. Where else does that happen? I mean, how many people go in and buy a house, I need a 4-bedroom, 3-bath with a pool. Okay,
and here's
the
your
one
payment.
you just bought, here's your payment.
And then you go,
wait, that needs a lot of work.
Oh, shoot, that's not even the right area. Okay, so when we come back, I love the statement you gave us. This is going to talk a lot about Mark Figearo and his company and their ethics behind it, because we've all dealt with this. Because solar companies, a lot of them are marketing companies. So Mark has put here, we don't call you at dinner, but here's why you should call us. And I love that tagline, Mark, because you guys do live this. You have not been calling us at dinner. You've actually been to our house to check things out. So when we come back, we're going to go into all the imperative details of solar that you really need to know about, that's going to help you make an educated and informed decision and make you feel better about it. When we come back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show, right here in your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS. Don't